Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our very first bracket reveal for College Basketball Insider CBI with Austin Bradley. It's Sunday. We are 3 weeks away from Selection Sunday on the road to the Final Four. And the road kind of was really hot. This weekend we had almost every ranked team playing. In fact, some are playing each other. And we had what was being dubbed as the biggest game of the season, the most important game of the season happened today, and that's why I waited this long to make this video. Now, there is a game between Wisconsin and Northwestern going on right now. However, I don't think that game is going to change the result of the way that I seeded these guys. I did, however, wait. I put on Facebook the other day that I was going to seed these guys Friday night, and I waited specifically till the Michigan-Ohio State game was over to finish two regions of the bracket. So I got half of it done yesterday, half of it done today, because depending on the result, obviously, I'll just be honest, depending on the result determined, to me, whether or not Ohio State was going to be a 1 or a 2 seed. As to where with Michigan, I think that even had they lost today, which they didn't, they won 92 or 92 to 87. Had they lost today, they would have probably still been the third overall seed and the number 1 seed in region number 3. Okay, so I'll go over my 1 seed in region 1. My 1 seed is Gonzaga. In region 2, my 1 seed is Baylor. Now, if Baylor comes back tomorrow or Tuesday, don't remember exactly sure which it is. If they come back and lose, then Michigan will be my region 2 1 seed, and it'll just flip. They'll just flip. Baylor's going to have to lose more than one game to not be on the 1 line. Region 3, I kind of gave it away a second ago, is Michigan, the Wolverines. They beat Ohio State and Columbus today, 92 to 87. They have just been on a tear. They were on a tear before the COVID pause, and ever since coming back from the COVID pause, they've won 3 games, 2 of them on the road against ranked teams. This one they won. It was an all-time classic, and the rivalry really an all-time classic. Period. It was a great game. Just heavyweight boxing match type game. They were throwing punches, and it really just come down. Michigan landed the last punch and won it at the free throw line. Neither team led by more than 8. And they both led by 6 at one point. So if that tells you just how good of a game. There was 21 lead changes by the time it was done. It was just a great game. Now, I also told you Ohio State is not my 4th 1 seed now. Now, I'll tell you why I bumped them down for this loss. It's not that it's a bad loss. In fact, it's one of the better losses on their schedule. That's a game that's okay to lose, but they lost it at home. They have the same record as Illinois, and they lost it at home. And now if they go to Ann Arbor and lose, then I probably would have kept them there. It's just a matter of where they're at. That's why I bumped them down and really just honestly just swapped Illinois and Ohio State. I didn't really fluctuating as far as that goes. All right, my 2 seeds are Ohio State, as I said. Villanova, that's pretty obvious. Alabama, again, that's another one that everybody's kind of agreeing on. Joe Lunardi, Jerry Palm, Mike DeCourcy, all of those guys that are making these brackets every week or every couple days. If you're Joe Lunardi, he's great at what he does. They all got Alabama on the 2 seed. I agree. One team they do not have on the 2 seed that I have on the 2 seed line is West Virginia. They were down 19 yesterday at Texas in Austin and come back and won. Down 19 on the road, come back and won in Texas. They had an argument on the bench. They got to get something they got to get their crap together because they've lost 4 of their last 7 games. You don't want to be going into the tournament not knowing who you are, not knowing what you're about, and you definitely don't want to go into the tournament having issues within your own team. That's not at all how you want to be. Houston had a good bounce back one today. They're my 3 seed in that same region with Illinois and West Virginia. They had a great bounce back game today, but they lost on the road, nonetheless, to a Wichita State team who I think Wichita State's as good as anybody as far as that as far as being in the tournament goes, I'm not saying that I think they're as good as Gonzaga, Baylor, and Michigan, but I think as far as that third tier, I think they're just as good as anybody. Wichita State's got a good program, and yeah, I'm not gonna knock Houston too much. I just knocked them down to a 3 seed. Could they get back to a 2 seed? I think Alabama or Villanova probably have to lose. I gotta say that win for West Virginia, unless they lose out, West Virginia's a 2 seed if you ask me, because that was an impressive win. They're playing so well. Team that prides themselves on defense, but is electric on offense as well. They're just playing really well right now. My 3 seeds, I'm not going to go seed by seed. You'll have a graphic so that you can look at it whenever you're watching the video. So I'm not going to go through every seed by seed. You'll be able to see it, and you can tell me what you think. My 3 seeds, Oklahoma, who won this weekend at Iowa State. It was a close game. It was a closer game probably than it should have been, but it's one of those things that happened. My 3 seeds, Oklahoma, Houston, Iowa. Iowa. I said, who was it I said just a second ago? Houston. Houston and Iowa, I think, are the only two that have a shot to bump up to that 2 line. Iowa's going to have to beat Michigan this week to do it, I think. And I'm going to be honest, and I'm saying this from an unbiased standpoint because I'm unbiased on this. I'm not going to hate on the people that I don't like. I'm not going to hate on the people I'm not going to, worship the people that I do like. It's not safe to put anybody but really Gonzaga and Baylor. It's not safe to take any of them in a bet over Michigan. Michigan is playing so well. And the thing is they're playing so well on offense and defense. And, whenever you're doing that and you're doing, they shot 55% today. That's insane. Okay, so did Ohio State. And that's the thing, that was like I was talking about, that was such a great game that, it's one of those games that you hate, again, unbiased, you hate, anybody to have to lose. But Iowa, I think, like I said, is really the only 3 seed that can bump themselves up to a 2 line. I think everything else is really kind of set the way it is. My other 3 seed would be Florida State, the Seminoles, in the ACC. They're going to win the ACC. And they're a team that always kind of sneaks their way to the Elite Eight. You don't really hear a lot about them and then all of a sudden they're 1 game away from the Final Four. A couple years ago, you remember they were in the Elite Eight, and in the Elite Eight 2 years in a row. They were in the Elite Eight in 2019 and 2018, and they're good. They're good. I would presume that they are going to they're going to win, or not win, but they're going to win some games in the tournament. They're not going to win the tournament. They're going to win some games in the tournament. I guess they could win the tournament, but anyway, Virginia Tech, I have them at a 4 seed. I have Mizzou at a 5 seed. I have Arkansas at a 5 seed. I have Kansas at a 4 seed. Just kind of going to highlight some things. I have Toledo at a 13 seed. They're one of those teams that, honestly, guys, they could be an 11, 12, 10 seed. They're playing really, really well right now. They're winning games. They're winning their conference by a lot. I mean, they're playing well. Maryland, Louisville. Okay, my first four out would probably, or my last 4 in, I would say would be Duke, Louisville, Wagner, and Iona. Siena, I have Siena at a 15 seed. I think both Iona and Siena, yes, I know they're in the same conference. I think Siena's going to win the conference. They're going to get in. I think Iona's probably going to get in as an at-large because, Rick Pitino and everything like that. And, all of a sudden right here at March, whenever, and yes, they've been successful. Do not get me wrong. But right here at March, start to hear Rick Pitino, and I think one of those things that I think they're going to find their way in just because who their coach is. And again, that's not taking away anything from Iona, but it's just one of those things. I think any other year it would be Siena and just Siena, but I think this year they're both going to find their way in. On my first 4 games, I've got an 11 seed Duke, 11 seed Wichita State. Again, guys, Wichita State is 1 or 2 wins away from being an at-large for me and probably being a 9 or a 10 seed. They got a huge win against Houston, and I mean, that's all I've got to say about that. And then I've got 11-11, Maryland and Louisville. Maryland needs to win games. If Maryland doesn't win games, they're going to fall out. They're right there. They're right there on both sides. They're right there from falling out. They're right there from being in. It's just, they've got, each Big Ten team has like 4 or 5 games left. And those games right there, if they go 2-2, they're not going to get in. If they go 3-1, they're going to get in. If they go 2-2, they're not going to get in. And, it could be the difference in just one game there. And that's a shame that, they've done that to themselves. But at the end of the day, that's just kind of how it works in college basketball. James Madison winning their conference by a lot. Winning their Conference USA by a lot. Wagner, NCAA, they have a losing record, but they're winning their conference, and they're kind of the team that everybody calls, I think, that, hey, let's play a non-conference game, get us warmed up for you. You got Oregon at the 6th seed. Winthrop is a 13th seed playing Kansas. That's a game that I have kind of a potential upset. Winthrop's playing really, really well. They won some pretty decent games in the non-conference as well. I mean, you never know. You never know what's going to happen in the March Madness. Here we're 3 weeks away. That's all I'm really going to go over. You can kind of see the bracket and you can tell me what you agree, disagree with. If you feel the need to, we'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to try to get it uploaded in time, not at 10 o'clock in the evening or the next day like it happened last week. I don't really know what happened there. Just kind of didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to, and it's one of those things that it happens. But we're going to try to get it uploaded a little more promptly for you guys. That's definitely, we're going to try to do that and everything. So that's all I've got for this bracket today. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to talk anymore. We got a big slew of games this week and next weekend. And, guys, we're coming down the stretch here. Just 21 days from Selection Sunday. I'll be back tomorrow for my week two CBI poll. There'll be the week 14 AP poll. Obviously, I have to wait. My poll's already made. But I have to wait for the AP poll to come out to make a video, or it doesn't make any sense because then I'm comparing it to a poll that's not there. So, yep, that's all I've got. The weather's finally starting to get better. So hopefully this week, we had a lot of college basketball games canceled last week because it was snowy or icy, and, some of the bigger games got canceled. Texas and Oklahoma got canceled. That's a huge game, and they didn't get to play it. So we'll see. Also, I'm curious because there's been talk today about Michigan maybe jumping Baylor tomorrow in the AP poll, and they've already jumped Baylor in my poll. They should jump Baylor in the AP poll. We'll see. If you want a little sneak peek as to where I'm at, you knew last week they had jumped them. They definitely jumped them after today's win. So that's all I got for you guys tonight. Again, I'll go over our 1 seeds just real quick. Region 1, Gonzaga. Region 2, Baylor. Region 3, Michigan. And Region 4, Illinois. And, again, there's going to be a bracket up on this video for you to watch look at as I'm talking. So, everybody have a great night. Stay safe. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.